and welcome to the Coach's Corner. Been a while since we've had a chance to do this, though, so lots happened since football season, though. But today's a special day for Noah Quinn here. That a big day in his life that he signed his scholarship papers to go to Newberry, though. But just talk a little bit about the experience today of finally signing on a dotted line to go play at collegiate.
I mean, it's great. All these people out here signing today. We got all these athletes out here. They're doing great in the sports. And they're just succeeding in life. And just congrats to them. They're going to do good in their life. I know some of them. I've been through school only 2 years here, but I've enjoyed it with some of them. And good luck to all of them.
All right, let's go back. We're going to back up in your career a little bit here to coming over from Gaffney to play at Broome. You know, what were your initial thoughts about going to a new school and stepping in at Broome here? Were you a little bit apprehensive, or thoughts about coming in for that?
I only knew one person coming in here, and that was Dylan. And I had no clue. I didn't know anybody. I got here. Everybody, when I got here, they thought I was a quarterback, but I was the opposite of a quarterback. I couldn't throw it at all. And, I ended up going on my first day. We had a 7-on-7 tournament. I think it was at J.O. Mann. I ended up meeting a bunch of players and getting to know them, and I just fit right in.
I remember talking to Coach Fleming back then, the first time we talked a little bit about, players to watch going into the season. And he said, and Noah Quinn, and I'm like, who's Noah Quinn? I've never heard of him before or anything like that. Well, I tell you what, that was a name I never forgot over the next 2 years. That's a name that I know people probably heard me say 50 times a game. The Assassin.
Oh, yeah. Especially when I had that touchdown and you was like, get that man a Gatorade.
We had a lot of fun over the time, though.
Yeah,
but
sure.
It was one thing that I stuck out to me was the way you played the game. I coached football, high school football at Dorman High School, and for 11 years was a football coach. And I can honestly say you were one of the best I've ever seen.
I appreciate that.
They had something on Facebook the other day. Somebody had posted something. I don't even know who it was, but I had to jump in on this. They said, who was the hardest hitter you've ever seen in high school football? And I didn't hesitate. I put Noah Quinn on there, though.
I appreciate that.
So, all right, you had a tremendous honor since we have talked last, playing in the Shrine Bowl. And again, that's probably every high school player in South Carolina's dream, I would think, of playing in the Shrine Bowl there. The last player, Broome has not had a lot of players playing the Shrine Bowl, and it scared me that the last player selected to play in the Shrine Bowl, the very next game tore his ACL and didn't get to play. But the bottom line is he's playing in the NFL now. So tell us a little bit about, first of all, about your thoughts of being selected to play in the Shrine Bowl.
It was like, I didn't even know about it until I looked on Snapchat and seen about somebody's story, and they had picked out the Shrine Bowl, and I got invited to the Shrine Bowl Combine earlier this year, and I performed, very well. The coaches, they loved how I played, and they were like, they'd let me know if I never got anything, and I looked on that dude's Snapchat story. I was like, well, they got him out. So I went and I looked it up, and I scrolled through, and I didn't see my name. I was like, dang, I didn't get picked. And I scrolled through again, and I read carefully, and my name was there. And I told my dad, he couldn't believe it. It's just a true honor just to be picked for that from so many players in the state, and just to be able to do that, it's just a great honor.
Well, to me, it was a no-brainer. That it would have been an uproar if you hadn't been on that team, in my opinion. I'd have started a campaign against it there. But now you're in the game. But just talk a little bit about what Shrine Bowl week was like, the experience of playing in it, the activities you were involved in, on and off the field, though. But just give us a little background on what the experience was like.
Well, when you got there, we had to get physicals and get all kinds of stuff done, all this paperwork done. When I got there, I seen people way bigger than me. They were 6'6", 300 and something pounds. There's people going to Notre Dame and everywhere. I was like, well, I just got to go do what I got to do. And I mean, practicing twice a day. I mean, it's really college life. You having to wake up in the morning, go eat breakfast, go to practice, go eat lunch, go back to practice, go to the hotel, have a meeting, then go to bed. And it's just, it was a great opportunity, especially playing in the game versus people that are actually going to like big schools, like actually playing against them. It kind of humbles you and just shows like, I mean, there's people out here in small schools like 3A, and there's people out here in 5A, and people in 3A doing the same thing as people in 5A. I mean, that's just, I mean, you just got to have the heart and go out there and play your best. And they're really good. So. And
again, a lot of people don't really understand this, kind of what you just hit on right there. They look at, oh God, he played or this little 1A school and all stuff like that. The only difference in the 1A and the 5A player is they got less students at their school. And people just seem to think because you may play at a smaller school, attendance-wise, that they're not that good of a player there. But I mean, I've seen when I was coaching basketball, there were 1A teams that won a state championship that would have worn out the 5A like that though. So, all right, well, tell me this: who was the biggest name player that you got a chance to tackle and hit? Do you have any memories of any of the big guys going to the big schools that you got to lay out?
I actually, I know like half their line was going to Notre Dame, and I didn't really get I really didn't get a chance to like beat him up or anything. But I had one dude, he got a hold of me. He was like #1 player in North Carolina. He got a hold of me. I wasn't even going nowhere. But I mean, I made a few good plays. I had one where I stopped running back in the backfield. I mean, I really don't know where he's going, but it really don't matter at that point where they're going or not. That's what you just got to go out there and play your game, whether they're going to big D1 school or going to D3.
Well, you did just that because of that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you were not just a face or name on the roster. That you actually were one of the leading tacklers in the game for the South Carolina team.
Yes, sir.
So do you remember what was your stats on that, though? But again, like what we said today, you went, but you made your presence known in a big way.
I think I had like 5 or 6 tackles, but I had one where I stopped him. I think it was a 3rd down play. I went right up the middle, hit him dead in the spot, and then it was 4th down, and we got a turnover, and I think we scored that drive.
All right. I saw a guy, you was one of your teammates, playing a spring game this Saturday, and a lot of South Carolina fans are really high on him, and I was impressed with him. Lenore Sellers. Tell me a little bit give me a scout report on him for all our Gamecock viewers.
Well, actually, I'm rooming with one of his teammates at South Florence, and he's going to Newberry too, and we've been talking about him, and he's an athletic. He runs a 4.3. He's really talented. Like when he's got like a 5.0 GPA. He's ridiculous at what he does. And, he's just good. And I heard he's got a little brother too.
Oh, really?
He runs like a 4.3, and I heard he's a good receiver.
Well, I saw him in the South Carolina game, and again, I was impressed with him, and think that the South Carolina fans were big on that too. All right, let's talk a little bit now about the recruiting process. And again, I'm going to be point blank and say it right here. I think that the transfer portal and the NILs have ruined college sports because it is, I know last year it put Dylan in a tough situation. This year it puts you in a tough situation and all like that, though. But, I had a player of mine, my best player ever, coached basketball player, a guy named Brandon Hughes. Was in a similar situation. Brandon had a great senior year. He made North-South All-Star game, which is equivalent to Shrine Bowl, was All-State and all. But most of the big schools had all their scholarships used up. South Carolina and Clemson both told me and him that if you are willing to walk on the first year, then we will put you on scholarship after that. But he had a lot of the smaller schools that were offering full rides and all that. So finally, Brandon and I sat down, and I told him, I said, Brandon, you need to decide, do you want to be a small fish in a big pond? and probably would not get to play. You got to play till a couple of years in the program or something there. Or do you want to be a big fish in a little pond and maybe go and leave your mark on the program and make yourself known? And what he ended up doing was he signed with Newberry. He went to Newberry, was a freshman All-American his first year, was Division II All-American the rest of his career. He's in the Hall of Fame at Newberry. He's also had his jersey retired at Newberry, and he's in the SAC 8 Hall of Fame, the Conference Hall of Fame too, right there.
Dang.
So again, my words to you are right now, encouragement is this was something he decided that he was going to go and he was going to make a name for himself. And I can see Noah Quinn doing that at Newberry or wherever the good Lord leads you, you know, in your career. So what are your thoughts on that?
I got to be great. Got to go this summer. I got to work hard, lift, get stronger, get faster, gain some weight, be going against some big boys. And, I mean, I just got to go out there and play my ball like I did here and just be me.
Well, I've enjoyed watching you play, and I would love. I plan. You better stay in touch with me. Let me know how your career goes, though. But I could see you going to Newberry and doing the same things. Like I said, Brandon was the best player I ever played. I wished every player could have been like him. He's still a good friend of mine, and all he owns his own fitness centers now. Not only that was. After he graduated, he went and played overseas. And his first year playing professionally over there, he was the freshman. He was the conference player of the month at the professional level, and I got that award several times, being the player of the month when he played professional ball, though. So the sky's the limit for you. And I want to encourage you to go there. Show them like you did in the Shrine Bowl that you don't have to be going to Notre Dame or anything. You can play the game and use it to glorify the good Lord.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
Thank you, and again, appreciate you sharing some time with us today. Proud of you, and congratulations on your big day today.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.